Mr. Adi. My name is Aldha Dwiputri from the International Management class, batch 2019. In this video, I will answer the final exam questions. So we will start from the first questions. We did a lot of activities, first presentation per group, question and answer between lecturers and students, and also we did a few games related to organizational behavior. Yes, I always attend class at the Zoom meeting, but I'm not very active when the present discuss a given topic because the network is not stable, so it's disturbed me to focus on the given topic. Fourteen chapters. What I presented was a presentation in chapter 1 entitled What is Organizational Behavior, and what I got was how we can understand individual behavior, strength behavior of individual according to groups, how can we understand group behavior if all group members do the same things, then thing is considered reasonable, and how we can understand organizational behavior including motivation, leadership behavior, and strength or personal, interpersonal communication, group structure and process, conflict, job design, and stress. In my opinion, my group is the best presenter because they have done their best with a delivery that is easy to understand too. Sir Adi as an OB lecturer was very fun, and Sir Adi took us very well. The knowledge gained by studying organizational behavior is to help me if I'm a manager, to identify problems, determine how to fix correction, and know the changes that have occurred. And what I got is the relationship between management and organizational behavior that reveals problems and can determine decisions to achieve organizational goals. I prefer to work in organization with the theory Y leadership style because leaders who fall into the theory Y category tend to view their employees optimistically. They see employees in a positive light. This affects the way their leadership is not centered on one figure. Leaders with category Y will be motivated to work together, participative, and trust in employees and their team. Employees in organization Y usually have a more responsibility. Leaders will motivate employees to develop their abilities. Praise or appreciation is also given, but this is not intended to control staff, but to open communication space for better. Max Weber's bureaucratic theory, which states that the social aspects of the bureaucratic must be followed by clear legal legitimacy so as to lead to good compliance. Meanwhile, Osborne and Gilbert's entrepreneurial bureaucratic theory state that in government, bureaucrats have to innovate themselves through their various creativity. The meaning of entrepreneurship in independence without waiting for orders or regulation. The bureaucratic is described as a system that continues to advance and innovate through its 10 concepts. First is great man theories. Great leaders are simply born with the necessary international characteristics such as charisma, confidence, intelligence, and social skills that make them natural-born leaders. Great man theories assume that the capacity for leadership inherent, that great leaders are born, not made. These theories often portray great leader as a heroic, mythic, and destined to rise the leader when needed. The term great man was used because at the time leadership was thought of primarily as a simple male quality, especially in terms of military leadership. Such a theory suggests that people cannot really learn how to become strong leaders. It's either something you are born with or born without. It's a very much a natural approach to explaining leadership. Second is trait theories. Similar in some ways to great man theories, trait theories assume that people inherit certain qualities and traits that make them better suited to leadership. Trait theories often identify a particular personality or behavior characteristic shared by leaders. For example, a trait like extroversion, self-confidence, and courage are all traits that could potentially be linked to great leaders. If particular traits are key features of leadership, then how do we explain people who possess those qualities but are not leaders? This question is one of the difficulties in using trait theories to explain leadership. There are plenty of people who possess the personality trait associated with leadership, yet many of these people never seek out position of leadership. There are also people who lack some of the key traits often associated with effective leadership, yet still excel at the leader group. Last is contingency theories. Contingency theories of leadership focus on particular variables related to the environment that might determine which particular style of leadership is best suited for the situation. According to this theory, no leadership style is best in all situations. Leadership researchers White and Hodgson suggests that truly effective leadership is not just about the qualities of leader, it is about striking the right balance between behavior, needs, and context. Good leadership are able to assess the needs of their followers, take stock of the situation, and then adjust their behavior accordingly. Success depends on a number of variables, including the leadership style, qualities of the followers, and aspects of the situation. First is trait theory, a theory that attempts to identify specific characteristics, physical, mental, personality, associated with successful leadership. Conduct research linking various traits with certain success criteria. This theory emphasizes the personal attribute of leaders. The basis of this theory is the assumption that some people are natural leaders and are endowed with several traits that others do not have, such as endless energy, immersive intuition, extraordinary future visibility, and irresistible power of persuasion. This leadership theory states that managerial success is caused by having the extraordinary abilities of a leader. Second is situation theory, an attachment to leadership which states that the leader understands his behavior, the characteristic of his subordinates, and the situation before using a certain leadership style. This attachment requires the leader to have diagnostic skills in human behavior. The last is position theory, a method of analysis developed in psychology that examines the sources, usually oral interaction, to find way of understanding how identities are produced and performed for the interaction. It seeks to understand the roles interaction attribute to themselves and others, and how they react to the roles they are put in. Based on the journal written by Anwar Iksan, with the following problem formulation. First is how much influence does organizational culture have on the performance of non-lecturer employees at Mercu Buana University? And second is how much influence does job satisfaction have on the performance of non-lecturer employees at Mercu Buana University? And the last is how big is the influence to corporate culture and job satisfaction together on the performance of non-lecturer employees at Mercu Buana University? To be able to obtain optimal research results and scientifically accountable, the authors will use several methods as the following. First is field research method. Second is library research method. This organizational culture will reflect the specification and character of an organization. The corporate culture belongs to and guides all layers of individual in organization in carrying out their duties. A strong culture and good human resources management are tools to compete with competitors in an organization. The result of a strong culture is that it will be promote consistent behavior that can create organizational effectiveness, which is influenced by employee performance. But if the culture is not good, then the goal is going in the wrong direction. Stress management is a wide spectrum of techniques and psychotherapies aimed to controlling a person's level of stress, especially chronic stress, usually for the purpose of and for the motive of improving everyday functioning. Stress management is important because students have shown that a healthy amount of manageable stress can lead to increased brain functioning, a boosted immune system, and better preparation for the future stressful situation, which can positively affect emotional health with your work and home life. For me, as a stress management student, it is very important. There are two ways I usually do to deal with stress. First is problem-focused coping, and second, emotion-focused coping. Good stress is a situation that makes you feel good and it's not considered a threat to your health. On the other hand, bad stress is something that can make you angry, tense, confused, anxious, feel guilty, or overwhelmed. The important change is practice doing things I think I cannot do, because change is never easy and it needs to be a process that isn't a fast either. Therefore, every small change that occurs is actually a very positive thing and needs to be appreciated and continue to be developed towards a better change. The way I lead change is myself is be specific about the important change you want to make in your life and know what you want to change, and also find your confidence. I got the OB book from Mr. Adi as an OB lecturer. In my opinion, nothing is too difficult to understand the material in the book OB because it has been presented very simply by friends with each chapter. And in my opinion, what is very easy to understand is chapter 1 because it is the most basic chapter of OB and it is important to understand. And what I learned from studying the organizational behavior for one semester is the study of organizational behavior give insight on how employees behave and perform in the workplace. It helps us to develop an understanding of the aspects that can motivate employees, increase their performance, and help organizations establish a strong and trusting relationship with their employees. The speaker in the first video is Jimmy Riley. The video mostly discusses about change management. Change management is defined as the method and manners which is a company describes and implements change within both its internal and external process. This includes preparing and supporting employees, establishing the necessary steps for the change, and monitoring pre- and post-change activities to ensure successful implementation. Significant organizational change can be challenging. It often requires many levels of cooperation and many involve different independent entities within an organization. Developing a structured approach to change is critical to help ensure a beneficial transition while mitigating disruption. Changes usually fail for human reasons. The promise for the change did not attain to the healthy, real, and predictable reaction of normal people to disturbance of their routines. Effective communication is one of the most important success factors for effective change management. All involved individuals must understand the progress through the various stages and series as the change cascades. The speaker in the second video is Peter. Talk about an attitude is positive, negative, or a mixed evaluation of an object that is expressed at some level of intensity. It is an expression of a favorable or unfavorable evaluation of a person, place, thing, or event. These are fundamental determinants of our perception of an action towards all aspects of our social environment. Attitude involves a complex organization of evaluate beliefs, feelings, and tendencies towards certain action. Job satisfaction is defined as a pleasurable of positive emotional state resulting from the appraisal of one's job or job experience.